Hotter than Hawaii, as temperatures across the UK soar. A heatwave alert is issued for large parts of England, with people urged to check on the vulnerable and the elderly.
And heatwave conditions could last all week in parts of southeast England. Next weekend, even hotter.
And the Star leads with the latest heatwave, how it's putting people off going to work.
Now, The Times reports that the record for the hottest day in Britain could be broken this week. We've been talking about that already this morning, haven't we? But we're all being advised to stay in the shade, to cover windows and to check on vulnerable people.
Good advice. It ain't half messed that one up, didn't I? One more go.
I know what you mean.
It ain't half hot, Mom. That's the headline in the Daily Mail. It carries this photo of the Duchess of Cambridge with her son Prince George watching the men's singles final at Wimbledon during yesterday's hot weather. Didn't he do well?
He did really.
We're just not used to temperatures being this high for this long.
Here in St James's Park in London, people have been enjoying the sunshine, and it's right here where the Met Office recorded its highest UK temperature of 30.1 degrees Celsius. And in Scotland, they had their hottest temperature of the year so far at 29.3 degrees in Lucas in Fife. The warmest day of the year so far for Northern Ireland too, where they reached 24.3 degrees in Derrylin in Fermanagh. And in Wales, in Usk in Monmouthshire, the temperature there was recorded at 27.9 degrees Celsius. Cardiff wasn't far behind. Perhaps the boat was the best place to be in Cardiff Bay. In Southend-on-Sea, the ice cream queues said everything about the temperature. The highest UK temperature so far this year stands at 32.7 degrees Celsius in Heathrow. That was in June. The Met Office said that's likely to be broken this week.
Matt is at Blenheim Palace for us this morning with our weather. Despite the heat, Matt, you couldn't resist putting the gilet on.
It's still a little bit fresh first thing in the morning, to be honest, Nina. Very good morning to you, but that will change over the next few nights. We're going to see temperatures hovering in the high teens, maybe low 20s for one or two. But the heat is a serious situation, particularly across much of Western Europe. Could get even hotter, exceptionally hot here in the UK by next weekend. But all week long, parts of southeast England will be under heat wave conditions with temperatures in the high 20s, low 30s. And it's that longevity of the heat which is going to have a great impact on the health of some. So let's take a look at the forecast for today first of all, because even today it could even be hotter than it was over the weekend for parts of England and Wales. We'll start to see some changes to north and west, but most places still dry and feeling hot through today.
Look, let me just quickly show you. This stadium behind us can take over 30,000 fans. It's thought the majority will be for England, which is going to be a massive morale boost. Yeah, but these people here are all going to be watching and clearly backing the Lionesses.
Matt is at Blenheim Palace with the weather for us this morning. Oh, the gilet's off.
It's gone. The sun is up, Nina. Yeah, and it's starting to warm up already. It will be dry. It will be sunny later, of course, for the Lionesses too. But welcome to Blenheim Palace. Over 300 years of history there behind me as well. I bet it's seen some pretty hot summers in its time and a pretty hot week in store for some of you. Now, it is summer. Heat and sunshine is not unusual by any means, but perhaps the biggest thing this week is just the longevity and intensity of the heat. Some parts of southeast England, East Anglia will be close to, if not above, 30 degrees all week long, and by next weekend we could be even hotter. We could be getting close to challenging the UK national heat record, which currently stands at 38.7 Celsius. Now, it's a while off yet and things could change, but certainly looking hot next weekend. And it's that impact of the longevity of the heat, so those hot days and particularly warm nights, the bodies don't get a chance to recover, and that's why there are various heat health alerts out across parts of England especially. Now, it's not going to be a heat wave all week for all of you. To the north and west, we will start to see some changes.
Do you know, when you see pictures like that, because often when you're out and about on outside broadcasts in the depths of February, you think,
yes,
I'd like to be in the warm studio on days like today.
Yes, or perhaps in a really beautiful stately home like Blenheim Palace, where Matt is
Envious
this morning.
of those,
Morning, Matt.
Oh, there he is. Morning.
Good morning, both. Yes, these sort of mornings out and about, certainly worth those cold winter mornings. But we've come to the Rose Garden here at Blenheim Palace. Just to mention that to go with the heat, it's also been incredibly dry across parts of the UK. Some areas of southern England have seen below average rainfall all the way since October last year. And of course, the forecast over the next week shows very little to no rainfall across many parts of England and Wales still. And with that combined with the scorching heat, some of the plants are undergoing stress as well as the human bodies as well. And think about the wildlife too over the coming days. Make sure you've got some water out for them, because the heat wave is set to continue, but not for all. It's parts of southeast England will see heat wave conditions throughout this week. Could get even hotter as we head towards next weekend, potentially very close to record breaking. North and west of the country, though, today is probably the last real hot day before things turn a little bit more comfortable. Let's look at the forecast, though, for today, because we're going to continue with the hot story for most places staying dry as well. But there will be some changes to the north and the west. We could see the temperatures soar again. Exceptional heat building across Spain, Portugal and western parts of France. That could be heading our way. So it's not over yet. Back to you both.
Matt, thanks very much. You are right, it is not over yet. And you at home have been sending in some brilliant photos of the lovely weather over the last couple of days, because it has been gorgeous, hasn't it?
Gorgeous. I committed to the paddling pool yesterday.
Did you?
Sometimes away
That's a time investment.
I thought, I'm doing it. Yeah,
Takes a
I've got
while.
a few days of it. This is the stunning view of Meldon Reservoir on Dartmoor yesterday. That is sent from Dave in Exeter. That is gorgeous, isn't it?
Look at this. Loch Morlich in Aviemore. Definite wish we were there vibes, I think, going on there. Sent in by Gary Mackay.
God,
Look at that.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And here's little Elvis chilling in the pool. Oh, Elvis. That's been emailed by Chris Allen. Love his face.
I think Elvis wins today.
Yeah, he's the winner thus far. Keep
Name
them
and
coming.
location. Yeah, and morning, Matt.
Morning, Sally. Good morning, all. Yes, I think some of you loving it, some of you not in particular. We are, of course, in Blenheim Palace. The parkland here, designed by Capability Brown, gives plenty of opportunity for shelter from the heat, and you will need it. Southeastern parts of England, the heat wave will continue all week, intensify further next weekend. Elsewhere, though, things will turn a bit more comfortable through the next few days.
He's in Dorset. Justin, the big question, have you spotted any yet?
We haven't. We are in Brownsea Island in the middle of Poole Harbour in Dorset. It has been the most beautiful morning. We've been here since about 5:30. The sun's risen and just look at the view here. Absolutely stunning, but not a single red squirrel. We've been looking out for them in the woods. This apparently is a really good spot for them. Haven't seen a single one. Now, maybe because we're here, but they've been being very quiet.
Matt's going to have a look around the UK for us this morning. Hello. I mean, we were just saying it's lovely, isn't it, to get out in the garden. We've needed that blast of sun, but it's a bit much for some. How long is it settling in for?
It is indeed, Nina. Very good morning. And that heat across Western Europe is exceptional. Quite worrying, in fact, in that they'll be seeing those sort of temperatures throughout this week, and it will get hotter towards the weekend. And that could be the story here in the UK as well. Now, we've seen widespread heat throughout the weekend. Temperatures actually across parts of England and Wales are set to rise even further through today. It will cool off across other parts of the UK. That's the good news for those of you who are not enjoying the heat whatsoever. But we could continue with heat wave conditions across parts of southeast throughout this week, and then, as I said, by the time we hit next weekend, we could see a spell of exceptional heat, which could actually challenge the UK temperature record. It's a way off. Things may change a little bit, but certainly it is a possibility next weekend. By the weekend, we could start to bring some of that heat our way. Now, big question mark of just how hot it gets. At the moment, it looks like by next weekend, we could be seeing temperatures across parts of England, in particular into the mid-30s. We could get a little bit higher. Now, Sally, Nina, the hottest day ever recorded in the UK was back in 2019. We saw 38.7 degrees in Cambridge. We could get very close to that again as we head towards the end of the weekend. It's not what you want to hear if you hate the heat. If you do not enjoy the heat, make sure you take plenty of fluids today, find some shade as well, and keep those curtains facing the sun closed as well. Back to you both.
Thank you, Matt. We know it's serious when you get your shorts on.
Always is.
That's the true breakfast barometer of heat, is when Matt gets
When the
his
shorts
knees
are
out.
on.
Yeah.
I think lots of people might be wearing their
Nobody wants
shorts
to
to
see
work
that.
today.
Acceptable, isn't it, in this
Of course
heat,
it's
I think.
acceptable.
Yeah.
We say it is.
And lots of schools bending the rules, aren't they, and allowing kids
Yeah.
to wear shorts to escape the heat
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's too hot to concentrate in school, perhaps.
Yeah.
Let's show you outside and have a look at the sunshine outside. This is the scene. That's actually our office, looking in on our office. And that's a view over the water here, because we've been talking a lot this morning, haven't we, about the warm weather?
Yeah, Costa del Salford. Resplendent this morning. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Not one cloud over Salford. Let's have a look at the capital, how it's looking a couple of 100 miles south. Beautiful.
Glorious.
I love that. I love that image, don't you? The vista down the Thames with the London Eye there. Gorgeous.
And also, we do have an official heat alert at the moment that just kicked in just a short time ago and runs for the rest of this week. That's what Matt has been talking about on the programme this morning. Also, we had a doctor in talking about how to look after people in the hot weather.
Yeah, and it sounds really obvious, but
yes.
Elderly relatives, the kids, be extra vigilant with hydration and with sunblock as well. It's the obvious messages, but it's important to keep saying them again and again, isn't it, with the weather consistently warm. Let's have a look, though. Thank you so much for the photos that you've been sending in after a lovely weekend of weather. Look at this.
Gorgeous. 2 balls captured by Lindsay Beach from Sandbach in Cheshire, trying to keep cool. I imagine they're quite warm.
Yeah, with all that hair, you would be, wouldn't you? This is Whitehaven Harbour. That one's pictured by Johnny. Sunset or sunrise, beautiful.
We saw Elvis in a swimming pool earlier. Elvis the dog, that is. But look at this.
Not the real Elvis.
This is Bella at Brancaster Beach in North Norfolk. Morning, Bella, you're very cute.
Oh,
that's
Bella's
been sent in by Sandra Gould.
And we do have to share the love with our feline friends too. Oh, Agnes's cat, loving life in the sun. Cats have a knack, don't they, of finding that sunny bit of the house wherever the shadows are falling and just having a little chill.
Now, this is a gorgeous picture. Look at this. Looking down the Dee estuary. That's been sent in by Paul Edwards this morning. Thank you. That could be anywhere in the world.
I'm really enjoying everyone in our ears going, ooh, ooh. And who can resist a final pampered pooch? This is Isla chilling in the pool with her very own Flo. Isla on her little island.
That'll be me later. Perhaps.
In your paddling pool.
Perhaps.
So, yeah.
We're back tomorrow from 6, but now on BBC One, it's time for Morning Live.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you both. We're trying to give them a wave, weren't we, over in Salford there.